Federal prosecutors are now answering to allegations they let convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein off the hook in 2008. In 2007, before Epstein's trial, which landed him in jail for 13 months, the billionaire was let off the hook for federal charges. The deal has been referred to as a sweetheart deal. The deal may have violated the Crime Victims' Rights Act. For more on this tonight, we turn to Mike Papantonio, host of America's Lawyer. Mike, what's the next step in all of this?
Well, this act, the Crime Victims' Rights Act, lays out rights of a victim. In this situation, it would be these underage girls where the sex predator, Epstein, actually engaged in sex with them, actually held some of them out as prostitutes. So, I mean, this is a case, Ed, that would have landed most people in prison for life. So the victim has the right to be reasonably heard at any public proceeding in district court involving releases or pleas or sentencing or any kind of parole sentencing. And they have a due process right to confer with the attorneys, the government in this case, and tell them that they think this is a good deal or a bad deal. Well, here, this was a sweetheart deal that was done secretly. I mean, the only way to describe this is it was a secret deal done by the federal government, by the federal prosecutors. U.S. Attorney Marie Filifano actually engaged in the deal. And with that deal, she gave a sentence that ordinarily would have landed most people in prison for life. The sentence was a non-prosecution where Epstein went to jail for 13 months. And here's the real sticker. He didn't really go to jail. He was allowed to go free 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. So basically, the deal was he got to sleep in a prison cell at night. And by the way, you know, there was no punishment whatsoever here. Prosecutors claimed that they did their best to inform the victims. That was nonsense. The lawyers handling this, Brad Edwards, says there was no effort to reach out to the victims at all because of who this was. This was Epstein, and he was a multi-billionaire who had if you look down, you look down his list of who I know, it is the who's who around the world. And so all of a sudden, he gets this free pass.
Can he be retried? Can prosecutors go back at him?
Yes. Yes. Here you have a U.S. District Judge, Kenneth Mara, who's been sitting on this for a while. He needs to make a decision on it. If he makes a decision to set this aside, which it should be, it's nothing but a scam. It should be set aside. And if it is set aside, this whole process gets to start again, and we get a closer look at who was actually involved with the Epstein, the Lolita jet that took underage girls back and forth to Caribbean islands. And so the point is this. This is an ugly case. The federal government knew exactly what they were doing. This was not a mistake. Federal rule on this, the Crime Victims' Rights Act, is very clear. The victim has a due process right to. They have a right to be heard. But here, this was all swept quietly, secretly under the rug so this billionaire Epstein could walk with a slap on the wrist.
All right. America's Lawyer, Mike Papantonio. Good to have you with us today, Mike. Thank you.